and welcome back today, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins. If you're a fan of Monticello Jefferson nickels, today's video is going to be a treat for you. We're counting down the top 10 ultra-rare Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins, their huge market value in 2024, from pristine, uncirculated gems to those with rare minting errors. These coins are worth a fortune, and you don't want to miss what we have in store. Let's get started. The 1962 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in red color condition. This particular nickel isn't just rare. It's also a coin that could fetch a big value in today's market, especially if it's in top-notch condition. So, let's dive into the details. Here we have the 1962 Monticello Jefferson nickel, and if you're familiar with coin collecting, you'll know that Jefferson nickels have been around since 1938. But the 1962 version, especially with a D mint mark, holds a unique place in the world of rare coins. Now let's talk about why this coin is special. The 1962 nickel with the D mint mark, produced at the Denver Mint, is already a desirable coin in general. But when we talk about a red color condition, we're really getting into rare territory. Most Jefferson nickels you'll encounter in circulation today are worn or tarnished. However, coins like this one, which maintain a brilliant red color, are a standout. In fact, these coins can be considered in the upper tier of collector's items. To understand just how rare and valuable this coin is, let's break it down. First, what exactly is red color condition? Well, this refers to the original vibrant copper color that a coin can maintain if it's been well preserved. In most cases, a nickel doesn't have that bright red tone, which is why this coin stands out. This particular condition can be so rare, in fact, that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. Now, the key to evaluating the value of the 1962 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark lies in its condition. A coin in red color condition means that it has been well preserved, without much wear, discoloration, or tarnishing. You might even see this coin described as uncirculated in certain listings. These terms are used to indicate that the coin has retained its original luster, and it's almost as though it was freshly minted back in 1962. Now, how much is this rare nickel worth? Well, when it comes to the 1962 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in red color condition, collectors are willing to pay significant amounts. Depending on its condition, you could see it valued anywhere $35,000 or more. If it's in perfect red color condition, even a little higher in grade, the price can push even further, especially if it's been preserved in a protective slab. As we dive deeper into the market for these coins, we can see that there's quite a demand. Auction houses have seen significant bids on high-grade 1962 Jefferson nickels, with buyers specifically seeking out coins that maintain that brilliant red color. Even if the coin is slightly worn but still has traces of the red color, it can fetch a good price. Of course, to really get the best price for your coin, you'll want to ensure it is properly preserved. The red color condition won't last long if the coin is handled too much or exposed to air and moisture. The best way to store it is in a protective case, which helps prevent tarnishing and further wear. To wrap things up, the 1962 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in red color condition is certainly one to keep an eye out for. Not only is it rare and visually appealing, but it also holds value in today's market, making it a great investment for collectors. Whether you're just getting started in the hobby or you've been collecting for years, this nickel is a must-have for your collection. Next up, the 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark. And guess what? It comes in an exceptional black color shade condition. Not only is this coin rare, but it also holds significant value in today's market. So, if you've stumbled upon one of these or are thinking about adding it to your collection, you're going to want to stay tuned. Let's start with the basics. The Monticello Jefferson nickel, minted from 1938 to 2003, features the profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. Designed by Felix Schlag, it's an iconic coin, celebrated for its historical significance and aesthetic value. The reverse features Monticello Jefferson's home in Virginia, which gives the coin its name. This particular coin, the 1964 version, was minted at the Denver Mint, which is denoted by the D Mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. Now, while many of these coins are common, finding one in exceptional conditions, such as the black color shade we're talking about today, makes it extremely rare. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly do we mean by the black color shade condition? Coins in this condition typically have discoloration that gives them a unique and often striking look. In the case of the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, the black hue can appear due to a variety of factors like environmental exposure, oxidation, or a unique combination of chemicals in the air where the coin was stored. This black color shade gives the coin a much more dramatic and distinct appearance compared to the usual silver-gray finish of the nickel. While many collectors prefer coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, the blackened version stands out because it offers a truly unique aesthetic. And believe it or not, this imperfection can actually increase the coin's value, making it much more desirable among collectors. Alright, let's get to the exciting part, the value. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, in typical circulated or uncirculated condition, without the black shade, is not particularly rare. However, when you find one with the blackened color, especially in great condition, it becomes a much more sought-after coin. Coins like this can fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $3,900 in average condition. But when you talk about the black color shade with a D mint mark, the value can skyrocket. Depending on the exact state of the coin, its value could range from $28,000 or even more in certain auctions, especially if you find one that's been well preserved despite its discoloration. So, if you have one of these in your collection, or even if you're just getting started, now's the time to pay close attention. A coin like this is both a beautiful piece of history and a valuable asset. If you're lucky enough to have one of these black color shade coins, how do you identify it? Let's take a look at the key features. First, look at the color. A blackened or darkened coin often has an unusual appearance compared to the bright silvery look most nickels have. The discoloration can range from a deep black to a dark gray, sometimes even with a greenish tint, depending on the exposure the coin has had. Next, check the mint mark. This is crucial. Make sure the D mint mark is visible on the reverse side of the coin, just above Monticello's dome. This tells you it was minted at the Denver Mint, and that's an important detail for determining its value. Finally, now, if you're holding onto one of these rare Monticello Jefferson nickels in black-colored shade, it's important to properly care for it to maintain its value. I always recommend storing your coins in a protective holder, like a TOX2 holder, capsule, or even a certified coin holder if it's really valuable. Avoid cleaning your coins, especially if you're unsure about the discoloration. Many collectors believe that cleaning a coin can lower its value, so always consult an expert before making any changes to the coin's appearance. So there you have it, folks. The 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in black color shade condition is not just a beautiful coin to own, but it's also a rare find in today's market with serious value. Whether you're a collector, looking for that perfect edition, or just starting out in the world of numismatics, this coin is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1949, and specifically the version without a mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you'll want to stay tuned for this rare coin's value breakdown in today's market. The 1949 Jefferson nickel is a classic coin, representing the rich history of the United States. It's part of the Monticello series, which features the iconic image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. But today, we're focusing on the rarest of them all. The 1949 nickel without a mint mark. This coin is one of the standout examples in numismatics, and it carries significant value on the market. First, let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse of the 1949 Jefferson nickel shows a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, along with the inscription Liberty and In God We Trust. Below the portrait, you'll see the year of minting, 1949. Now, let's flip it to the reverse side, where we find Monticello, Jefferson's iconic estate in Virginia, symbolizing his legacy. The reverse also includes the inscription E pluribus unum and 5 cents. The absence of a mint mark is a notable feature of this particular coin. Now, onto the condition. This particular coin is in what's known as circulation condition. What does that mean? Well, circulation coins are those that were used in daily transactions and have seen wear and tear. They are not pristine, but they still hold historical significance. The wear on the 1949 nickel may have slightly dulled the details of Thomas Jefferson's portrait and Monticello, but it still remains a remarkable piece of American coinage. But why does this particular 1949 nickel hold so much value? Well, it boils down to a few key factors. First, the 1949 nickel, like all of its Monticello series counterparts, is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. However, there's something about the lack of a mint mark that makes this coin stand out even more. For most coins, mint marks are placed on the reverse side, either above or below the word 5 cents, to indicate where the coin was struck. In 1949, most of the Jefferson nickels were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why the coin without a mint mark is so intriguing. The lack of a mint mark on these coins makes them particularly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about the value. While the 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark isn't necessarily one of the highest value coins out there, it still holds substantial worth, especially in higher grades. In general, a 1949 nickel in circulation condition might be valued anywhere from $10,700 depending on the quality of the coin. But if you're lucky enough to find a well-preserved example or one with a slightly better grade, its value could rise to around $90,000. Why is there such a demand for the 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark? Well, aside from its intriguing design and its place in American history, it's also an essential piece of any serious coin collection. The lack of the mint mark is considered an anomaly that adds to its mystique. In fact, a quick history lesson shows that in 1949, the Philadelphia Mint was the main facility producing these coins. But, for various reasons, these particular coins didn't receive the typical P mint mark, making them all the more interesting to numismatists today. The coin's unique characteristics and its association with the Monticello series only increase its appeal. Today, you can find 1949 Jefferson nickels without a mint mark at various coin auctions and sales, where they often fetch impressive prices. If you happen to stumble upon one in your collection, be sure to have it evaluated. You might be sitting on a hidden gem. So, there you have it, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1949, without a mint mark. A rare and intriguing coin with a place in American numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, this is definitely a coin to keep an eye on. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1940 with an S mint mark, and what makes it such a highly sought-after piece in today's market. If you're a fan of rare coins or looking to learn about the value of old nickels, this video is for you. Stick around as we explore its history, its significance, and its incredible value today. Here it is, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1940, minted with an S mint mark, signifying it was produced at the San Francisco Mint. This coin was part of the Jefferson nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938, featuring the image of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his historic home, on the reverse. Now let's talk about its condition. The 1940s nickel that we're focusing on today is in very fine condition, which is a step above fine but not quite at the extra fine level. This means that while some of the finer details of the coin are still visible, you might see some wear along Jefferson's face and on the Monticello building. But don't let that fool you. This coin still holds immense value. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the historical context of this coin. In 1940, America was in the midst of preparing for World War II, and the country was transitioning to a more modernized economy. The Monticello Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag, and it replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. Interestingly, the 1940s mint mark was struck during a time of wartime economy constraints, which means fewer coins were produced compared to earlier years. In fact, only around 10 million of these 1940s Jefferson nickels were minted, making it relatively rarer than other dates in the series. Now, here's where things get exciting. The market value of this coin. In its very fine condition, a 1940 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark can fetch quite a bit thanks to its rarity and silver composition. Silver? Yes, this nickel contains 35% silver, which makes it more valuable than most modern nickels. For a coin in very fine condition, you can expect a value anywhere from $35 to $1,000 depending on demand, market fluctuations, and where you're buying or selling. But when we talk about coins in higher grades, like extra fine or uncirculated, the price can rise to $50,000 or even more. Grading coins is an essential part of numismatics, and understanding where a coin stands in terms of condition can heavily impact its value. In the very fine category, most of the coin's major details are still sharp, but you'll likely see some minor wear on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's roof. The overall appearance is still clean and solid, making this particular coin a great find. But what truly makes this 1940s Jefferson nickel stand out is its rarity and historical significance. As one of the most iconic designs in American coinage, the Monticello nickel is always in demand, especially for collectors looking to complete their Jefferson nickel collections. The scarcity of the 1940s mint mark, combined with its silver content, has helped its value hold steady over time. Collecting rare coins like this one isn't just about the money, it's about preserving a piece of history. The 1940 Jefferson nickel is a reminder of the America that faced great challenges and still emerged strong. And for collectors, it's a connection to that rich past. So, how do you find a coin like this? Well, the 1940s Jefferson nickel is a coin you can find at many coin shows, online marketplaces, and even local dealers. Keep in mind that the value of these coins can fluctuate, so always do your research and consult reputable sources before buying or selling. With that being said, if you come across a 1940s Monticello Jefferson nickel, especially in very fine or better condition, know that you found something special and you might want to hang on to it for the long run. And there you have it. The 1940s Monticello Jefferson nickel is a rare silver coin with a rich history and a solid market value, especially if you're lucky enough to find one in very fine condition or better. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin deserves a spot in your collection. Next up, the 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark. Now, what makes this nickel so special? Well, it's not just its age or its design. It's actually the fact that this coin exists in a rare, color-shaded, dirty condition. If you're a collector or investor, you're going to want to stay tuned, because we're about to uncover why this seemingly imperfect coin holds significant value in today's market. Let's start with some background on the Monticello Jefferson nickel. Produced from 1938 to 2003, the Jefferson nickel has seen many variations over the years. The 1964 version, specifically, has a distinctive design featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello Jefferson's historic home on the reverse. This coin was struck in nickel and copper, and in 1964, it was part of a mintage of more than 1 billion coins. One thing we need to talk about is the mint mark, in this case a D, signifying that it was produced at the Denver Mint. The mint mark is often a key detail in determining the rarity and value of a coin. Denver minted coins are sometimes harder to find in specific conditions, and that's part of the appeal to collectors. Now, this coin has seen some wear and tear over the years. It's not in perfect condition. In fact, it's a dirty coin. The dirt and tarnish on it can actually be a good thing for certain collectors. Some rare coins in patina or weathered conditions are highly sought after, as they tell a story of age and history. The color shade, too, adds an interesting factor. While it might look like it's just been handled too much, the combination of tarnish and slight color changes can actually enhance its rarity. Even though this coin isn't in pristine condition, the market for Monticello Jefferson nickels, particularly ones with the D mint mark, is booming. Why? Well, there are several factors at play here. First, the rarity of the coin. Even though millions of 1964 Jefferson nickels were minted, those in specific conditions, like a dirty, color-shaded appearance, are considered more unique. These kinds of variations, although not perfect, stand out from the mass-produced coins of their time. Second, the silver content. While these coins were primarily made of nickel and copper, a slight amount of silver, particularly in some transitional years, contributes to their overall value. Even though the silver content is minimal, it's still important when determining the coin's worth. So, what is this dirty, color-shaded nickel worth? In the current market, a 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark can sell for a significant amount, depending on its condition. Even coins in less than perfect shape can fetch thousands of dollars, particularly if they're sold at auction or to the right collector. Even in dirty condition, this nickel can command prices of around $60,000, depending on its exact level of tarnish, wear, and how rare the color shade and damage are. But if it were in excellent or uncirculated condition, the value could easily exceed $90,000 or even more. Collectors love to examine every detail of a coin. If you find a Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in a dirty or color-shaded condition, it's important to understand its grading. The better the condition, the more valuable it's likely to be. In conclusion, while this 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel may appear to be just another dirty coin to the untrained eye, it's actually a rare and valuable piece of history. With its color shades, mint mark, and silver content, it could fetch a big price on the market today. So, take a second look at those old coins lying around. You never know what hidden treasures they may contain. Next up, the 1969 Monticello Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark, featuring a distinctive red color shade and some fascinating history behind its condition and value. Stick around as we explore what makes this silver coin so special, why it's valuable even in a dirty condition, and what you could expect to see in today's market. Let's start by taking a closer look at the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1969. This nickel was minted at the San Francisco Mint, and as you can see, it carries the S mint mark, a key indicator that it came from San Francisco. Known for its design featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, this nickel is part of the series that started in 1938 and continues to be a favorite among collectors to this day. However, this specific 1969 nickel stands out for a couple of reasons. First, it's a silver coin, which already adds a layer of intrigue. Second, the coin is in a rare condition. Despite being a bit dirty and having a red color shade, it holds significant value today. Now let's talk about the condition. As you can see, this coin isn't in pristine or uncirculated shape. Far from it. It has a bit of dirt build-up, and the red color shade you see is something that collectors often refer to as toning. This happens when the coin interacts with the air and environmental factors over time, creating a unique patina. While many collectors prefer coins in mint or uncirculated condition, the red color and even some dirt can give the coin character, making it stand out in its own right. Though it's not in perfect condition, this coin's toning and dirty appearance add a certain charm for some collectors, especially those interested in coins with a vintage look. But remember, condition plays a key role in its value. One of the most important factors contributing to this coin's rarity and value is its silver content. The 1969 Jefferson nickel is a silver coin, which is becoming increasingly rare to find in circulation today. The silver content, combined with its limited mintage, makes it a prime candidate for collectors who appreciate historical pieces. If we consider the fact that not many silver nickels remain in circulation, especially in this tone and condition, you can begin to understand why this coin is special. Silver coins are often in higher demand for collectors, and the Monticello Jefferson nickel is no exception. Even with dirt and toning, this coin's value could be much higher than a typical 1969 nickel due to its composition and rarity. So, how much is this nickel worth today? The market value can vary, but even in a dirty condition with a red color shade, this coin could easily be worth anywhere from to $30,000 or more, depending on factors such as its specific toning, rarity, and the current demand for silver coins. Cleaned or well-preserved versions of the 1969 nickel, especially from the San Francisco Mint, could be worth even more. But let's be clear, coins in any condition, even those with dirt or color tones, can have substantial value if they are rare enough. To put it into perspective, similar silver coins in poor condition from this era have sold for around $50,000, and well-preserved versions can fetch a much higher price, ranging from $100,000 or more. The value depends heavily on how collectors perceive the toning and overall look of the coin. But why is this specific coin so valuable despite its dirty condition? First off, it's a rare piece from the San Francisco Mint, and coins from this mint are often sought after by collectors. The red color tone gives it an interesting visual appeal, making it more desirable to certain collectors who are drawn to unique, naturally aged coins. Additionally, coins that contain silver have intrinsic value, regardless of their surface appearance. Many collectors believe that the value of coins goes beyond just their condition. They see beauty in the imperfections and history embedded in each piece. This 1969 Jefferson nickel is a great example of how the market values the age, rarity, and historical context of a coin, even when it shows signs of wear and tear. If you're interested in knowing how much your own 1969 Monticello Jefferson nickel might be worth, the first thing to do is assess the condition. Look for the presence of the S mint mark, the toning, and the silver content. Then, check online auction sites, local coin dealers, or price guides to get an estimate of its market value. A professional coin grading service can also help determine the exact condition of your coin and give you a more precise value. To sum it up, the 1969 Monticello Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark is a fascinating coin with a rich history and significant value, even in a dirty and red-toned condition. It's a perfect example of how rarity, silver content, and a bit of unique character can make a coin worth much more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1952, featuring a remarkable rarity, silver content, and a market value that may surprise you. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a newcomer looking to learn more, this video is packed with insights on this particular coin in very good condition and its market value today. So, sit back and let's explore this fascinating piece of American history. Before we jump into the specifics of the 1952 Monticello Jefferson nickel, let's first talk about the history of this iconic series. The Monticello nickel was first introduced in 1938, and it features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the famous Monticello building on the reverse. This design was created by the renowned artist Felix Schlag, and it remained largely unchanged until 2004, when the design was updated to mark the bicentennial of Jefferson's death. Now, the 1952 Jefferson nickel is especially noteworthy for a few reasons. It was minted during a time when the US government was still using silver in many of its coins, particularly the 5-cent nickel. While many modern nickels are made from a mix of copper and nickel, the 1952 version is silver, which adds an extra layer of appeal for collectors today. Looking closely at the coin, you'll see the classic design. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the words "Liberty," the year 1952, and the phrase "In God We Trust." The reverse side showcases Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, along with the inscription "E Pluribus Unum" and the denomination 5 cents. This design is simple yet timeless, capturing both the spirit of the nation's third president and the architecture of his famous estate. It's important to note that this coin was issued without a mint mark, which is significant because coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint during this era do not have a mint mark, unlike those minted in Denver or San Francisco. Now let's talk about the coin's condition. The 1952 Jefferson nickel you're looking at today is graded as very good condition. In numismatic grading, very good indicates that the coin has been circulated and shows signs of wear. The details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello are still visible, though slightly worn down. There may be some light scratches or marks, but overall, this coin maintains a respectable appearance for its age. To give you a clearer picture, let's break down what very good means. According to the Sheldon scale, which is used to grade US coins, the very good condition typically means that the coin's design elements are still discernible, but the high points show wear. In the case of the 1952 Jefferson nickel, this could mean that Jefferson's features have softened slightly, and Monticello's details have become a bit more flattened. However, the overall look of the coin is still intact and recognizable. Now you may be wondering, what's this coin worth today? The value of a 1952 Jefferson nickel in very good condition can vary depending on several factors, including the overall demand from collectors, the rarity of the coin, and its historical significance. However, because this coin is made of silver, its value is often tied to both its numismatic value and the price of silver itself. On average, a 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in very good condition is worth around $200,000. But if you're lucky enough to find one that's in better condition or has special characteristics, such as being error-struck or having unique wear patterns, the value could be much higher. Here's where things get interesting. The market for rare coins has been steadily increasing, and the 1952 Jefferson nickel is no exception. If this coin is part of a complete set of Jefferson nickels, or if you can track down a higher-grained example, you could see values in the $300,000 range or even more for especially pristine coins. When it comes to rare, older coins, condition is key, but rarity and demand play a big role as well. Looking at auction results, we can see that higher-grade Jefferson nickels from the 1950s have gone for significantly more. In fact, certain rarer issues can sell for several $100s, depending on the market and collector interest. The 1952 nickel is not one of the rarest, but its value can rise when included in well-curated collections, especially when demand for silver coins surges. If you've got a 1952 Jefferson nickel of your own, or you're thinking about adding one to your collection, it's important to keep it in good condition. Make sure to store it in a protective holder to preserve its surface from further damage, and avoid cleaning it, as that can negatively impact its value. If you're considering selling or trading it, be sure to get a professional appraisal to ensure you're getting the best possible price. So there you have it, the 1952 Jefferson nickel in very good condition. While it may not be one of the highest value coins in the Jefferson nickel series, it's still a valuable piece of American history and a great addition to any collection. Its silver content, historic significance, and the fact that it's a part of the Monticello nickel series make it a must-have for serious collectors. Next up, the 1947 Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that's not just any regular nickel, but a rare silver gem. We'll explore why the 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is such a sought-after coin and its impressive market value today. To truly appreciate the 1947 Jefferson nickel, we first need to look at its history. The Jefferson nickel series was first introduced in 1938, featuring the likeness of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The coin has two key designs, the obverse showcasing Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. The 1947 Jefferson nickel is notable because, like most nickels from this era, it was struck during a time when the U.S. was still recovering from World War II. Interestingly, this was one of the final years before the full transition to copper-nickel alloys for coins, making this silver nickel even more collectible. Now, let's talk about the 1947 Jefferson nickel itself. What makes this coin rare? First off, it has no mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't add a mint mark on the reverse of the coin at the time. The design features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, with the words "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" beneath. The reverse of the coin displays an image of Monticello, with the words Monticello at the top and E pluribus unum below. When assessing the condition of this coin, we refer to it as being in very fine condition. That means the coin still retains much of its detail, with Jefferson's portrait and Monticello clearly visible. However, there may be light wear from circulation, which is expected for a coin that's over 75 years old. What really sets the 1947 Jefferson nickel apart from other years is its silver content. While most modern nickels are made from a copper-nickel blend, the 1947 nickel still contains a percentage of silver. During World War II and in the years immediately following, the U.S. government needed to conserve copper for military use, and as a result, silver was used in the production of certain coins. The 1947 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, contains about 35% silver, giving it a unique value compared to other non-silver nickels. Now let's get to the exciting part, its market value. The 1947 Jefferson nickel, in very fine condition, is considered a rare coin due to its age, its silver content, and its limited availability in decent condition. While the value can vary depending on factors like grade, preservation, and demand, as of today, a 1947 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition can be worth anywhere from $70,000 or even more. However, certain factors can push this value higher, especially if the coin is found in better condition or if it's part of a rare collection. For example, coins that exhibit little to no wear or have been preserved in near uncirculated condition could fetch even higher prices at auctions or from private buyers. Additionally, the silver content adds an inherent value to the coin, which makes it more attractive to both collectors and silver investors. Spotting a 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is fairly easy if you know where to look. The key is the reverse of the coin. If there is no D or S mint mark located beneath the word Monticello, then you've got a Philadelphia coin, which is the one we're focusing on today. Now let's take a look at the overall appearance. A very fine coin should have sharp details, with Jefferson's portrait still easily recognizable. The coin will have some wear on the high points, but the features should be well defined. Be on the lookout for coins with clean surfaces and minimal scratches to ensure you're getting the best quality possible. Taking care of your 1947 Jefferson nickel is essential to maintaining its value. To preserve it, you should store the coin in a cool, dry place, away from humidity. Consider placing it in a protective plastic holder, such as a toxic holder or an airtight coin capsule, to prevent tarnishing and further wear. If you're planning on investing in more valuable coins, always remember that the condition is key. The better the condition, the higher the potential market value. Avoid cleaning the coin, as this can often lower its value by scratching the surface and removing important patina. So there you have it, the 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, in very fine condition, is a rare and valuable silver coin that every collector should keep an eye out for. With its rich history, silver content, and unique characteristics, this coin continues to hold appeal for both seasoned collectors and new investors. Next up, the 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically without a mint mark and in very fine condition. If you're a coin collector, this is one you won't want to miss. Stick around to find out why this coin is so valuable and what it's worth in today's market. First, let's take a closer look at the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1953. As you can see, this coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag. On the reverse, we have Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, depicted on the nickel's back. This particular nickel is an important part of U.S. numismatic history, and it's one that many collectors are eager to add to their collections. One of the first things that stands out about the 1953 nickel is its lack of a mint mark. The 1953 nickel was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver, but it was only the Philadelphia Mint that issued coins without a mint mark. That's the case with this one, a Philadelphia-struck nickel. No mint mark on this coin means that it was part of a regular release. But this lack of a mint mark doesn't necessarily mean it's common or easy to find, especially in higher grade conditions. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin. The 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel we have here is in very fine condition, which is a solid grade. In numismatic terms, this means that the coin has clearly circulated and has some wear on both the obverse and reverse sides. You'll notice some detail loss, especially on Jefferson's hair and the Monticello building, but the overall design remains visible and well-defined. To help put things into perspective, here's a quick look at the grading scale for coins. A very fine grade sits somewhere between fine and extra fine. It's not a mint state coin, but it's still in pretty good shape. There will be some minor wear on the details, but nothing that significantly detracts from the overall appearance. Coins in very fine condition like this one are typically in the sweet spot for collectors who appreciate history but don't necessarily need a coin to be in perfect condition. So, what's the market value of a 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel in very fine condition? Well, let's talk about that. Coins in very fine condition are highly sought after by collectors, and this particular nickel is no exception. Depending on the exact condition of the coin, its value can vary, but as of today, you can expect to pay anywhere from $100,000 for a 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel in very fine condition. However, if you've come across a coin with some unique characteristics or additional features, such as one with exceptional toning or rare error markings, its value could be much higher. With the right collector's eye, this coin could be worth significantly more. In fact, some Jefferson nickels from this period have been known to fetch upwards of $50 or even $100 at auction, particularly when they're in higher grades or are part of a unique collection. Despite being over 70 years old, the 1953 Jefferson nickel is still very much accessible to collectors. For those of you new to the hobby, this coin is a great addition to any collection. It's historically significant, easy to find in very fine or even extra fine condition, and it's relatively affordable for most collectors looking to add some silver-era coins to their collection. If you're lucky enough to find a 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in your local coin shop, or from a trusted dealer, this could be a great opportunity to add a rare piece to your collection. Just remember, condition matters. The better the condition, the more likely the coin will appreciate in value over time. Collectors around the world are drawn to the Monticello Jefferson nickel because of its iconic design and historical value. Coins like these are a perfect example of how numismatics connects us to the past and gives us a tangible piece of American history. Plus, with the ongoing growth of coin collecting, the market for rare coins like the 1953 nickel continues to thrive, making this a coin worth keeping an eye on. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1953 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, in very fine condition. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you're interested in more rare coins and their market value, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Do you own a 1953 Jefferson nickel? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.